Today I have more information for you regarding the Hearthstone Diablo Immortal update, and just inside of the game today, we have had Clash of Cards drop, which is a timeline leading us up to July 30th, which is the launch of this Hearthstone Diablo Immortal crossover. As you can see, on the 24th of July, which is tomorrow, we'll get ourselves 3 rare crests. On the 26th of July, we'll get ourselves 1 Telluric Pearl, and on the 30th, the day of the event, a legendary crest. Not only that, we're also getting ourselves bonus Battle Pass experience. Bonus XP will be given for Battle Pass rank ups, and of course, there is the limit to the amount that you can get per month with all of that. So it all has begun inside of the game itself, and the countdown has begun. But now I want to dive into the patch notes that dropped in China that gave us a lot more context and insight into this event than we saw from the North American patch notes. Now, please keep in mind, this is from China, it's translated from Chinese, and there's no 100% guarantee that everything will be verbatim what we see right here. There are some things that are the same, and there are others that are different, like this portal that we should be getting. It doesn't say whether we'll be getting it for free or not. My hope, my assumption, my hope is that it's a free portal for everyone. Also, some avatars will be available to players that engage in the event as well, which is really cool. You can have different characters that you know from Hearthstone that you'll then be able to use the avatar of. Also, they talk about these cards. Now, I have all of the, we'll call them affixes for these cards that I'm going to be sharing with you inside of this video as well. Essentially, there are, I believe, 18 of them, and they give you different buffs in different areas of the game. And as long as you're a level 10, you're going to get something in the mail with one of these cards just from playing during the event. So you'll have one of the 18. And as you can see right here, there are a bunch of these different cards, all that are going to give you different attributes or affixes for some of your battles. And yes, there are 18 of these that in the form of effects, turning them into forces that adventurers can use. So basically, you're able to use the effects of these cards in your battles. Through the task, the adventurer can obtain the Shadow Hearthstone pack, open it to get random cards, and unlock the corresponding entry effect. However, when crossing the face to the shelter, some cards were distorted and corrupted by the fiery hell, and adventurers may find that they're different from the original appearance in Hearthstone, but the powerful power contained in them has not changed. Collect these cards and master the new abilities. Now, I do have all these abilities for you. I'll get to those abilities in just a moment because I want to show you where you can kind of use some of these. And as you can see, we're looking at the fractured plane right now. Spoke about this yesterday quite a bit in that video and on my live stream yesterday, but you're going to be able to use some of these abilities and have them as choices. As you can see, the card choices here from the cards that you collect from that pack of 18. As you can see, as you go through different stages of Fractured Plane, more choices will become available, some at the very beginning of your matches. Now here's a little bit of a closer look at what these cards look like. Definitely Hearthstone cards. You can see the Hearthstone original cards on the table behind, and then you can see how they've been Diablo Immortalified to kind of take that Hearthstone logo. They're flipping it around in another direction, adding the red to it, making it a true Diablo experience. So I think, at least for the cosmetics and what they look like, they look pretty cool. Now let's talk about the affixes. Now, as I mentioned, there are 18 of these, and I don't want to go through every single one of them because that could get a little extensive. Who knows, maybe I will. But I'll go through a few of them right here, and I'll be sure to show all of them inside of this video, and you could read through them if you want to know what they look like. These have all been translated over from Chinese because this was only shared in a Chinese version. But these are all 18 of the modifier affixes that you'll be getting from the cards that you'll be collecting. The first one being Transfiguration. When dealing damage, there is a chance to activate Transfiguration, transforming the target and surrounding enemies into yaks, increasing the damage they receive during this period. So, you can already tell that these are kind of fun elements that are adding to the game. We're going to be able to turn things into yaks, and they're going to take more damage from our attacks from Transfiguration. Let's read another one. Ice Barrier. When receiving a critical hit, it'll cause damage to surrounding enemies and impose a freezing effect that lasts for a few seconds. At the same time, you'll be immune to damage for a short period of time and recover your health. Then we have Furious Attack. When you cause damage to yourself, you'll trigger an additional rage attack at the target location, causing area damage. At the same time, you'll gain a shield that can resist damage and last for a few seconds. All right, so not all of them are just goofy things where you turn other players into yaks, or I should say enemies into yaks. There are some things that actually could be quite useful. And after reading through and checking out a bunch of these, because as I mentioned, there are a ton of them, I realized that a lot of these act like a legendary gem would act. Now, when we're in Fractured Plane, you're going to be able to choose some of the cards that you're going to be able to utilize as you built out your character for Fractured Plane. When you're doing Trial of the Horde, because these are also going to be active in Trial of the Horde as well, they're going to drop as experience globes instead of the cards. So these affixes, I believe, are going to be dropping as different experience globes throughout the, or I should say modifier globes throughout your battle, so that you'll then be able to do these different abilities, affix abilities during those matches. So from what I understand, we're only going to be able to utilize these cards and these affixes during the special events that I just mentioned. Now, just to go through a couple more with you guys, and I am jumping around. Viper Trap, when you're damaged, you summon 3 poisonous snakes to spit venom at nearby enemies, causing poison if hit, and taking damage every second. When triggered, you'll also be immune to damage for a short time. Let's scroll a little bit further so you guys can definitely get a look at all of them, and I'll read one while you guys pause and look at the rest if you want to. How about Lightning Storm? When using skills, there's a chance to trigger a lightning storm, causing damage to surrounding enemies. After the trigger, the player will fall into an overload state, reducing the cooldown recovery speed of all the skills for a few seconds. So honestly, these do sound like some powerful type attributes that really do sound like legendary gems. And Backstab, when damaging an uninjured target, additional damage is dealt. Those are all of the affixes. Of course, I only read a small handful for sparing all of you, but you can at any point in time scroll through, pause, and look through all of them. I'll scroll up one more time for you guys to get a good look at everything so you can see what all of those affixes are. Now, again, these are only going to be available in those special activities that we have going on. So it's not like these are going to be something that you could utilize long-term inside of the game, the same way that you would invest in and use a legendary gem. Now, with all of this said, I did mention that my live stream was on yesterday where I discussed a bunch of these topics. I will not be going live today. I have some things that I need to take care of around the house and with family, but tomorrow I will be live again. We'll be looking more into any information that we get regarding the update and just playing through with the community. We've been doing our Hellslayer bounties together, we've been running our dungeons together, we've been doing Heliquary bosses together, and of course participating in any events altogether that the game has to offer. If you guys enjoyed the video or found it valuable, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on my next video or any of my live streams. And yes, Soma is famous now.